Yeah. You're like, why don't I sound this good?
God, this is amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's pretty addicting too.
Wow, this is crazy. This is like a weird moment for me.
This
I've
is
never
what
heard
you-
this
Once you
before.
try, you never go back.
I have never heard this
What your
before.
students feel like hearing this voice all the time. Coming out of your mouth.
Wow, this is amazing.
There you go. So we're toasting.
Well, good for you guys. Welcome.
So you also saw that.
Cheers to all of you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And all of the people that don't drink. Cheers to you as well.
I think, although I do like the sound of my voice here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep mine on if that's okay.
And I'm going to keep mine. You can hang it if you want.
So yeah, so I was at USA Dance Nationals in St. Louis in April, and in the on deck area, I was talking to someone, and there's a rumor. I'm not sure if it actually passed yet. I haven't done my due diligence on this from the NDCA side. There's a rumor that so a rule had passed or is being planned to pass that if you are an official, again, I'm not 100% clear here, so, but something like, if you're an official of a different org, a non-NDCA org, judge, whatever, that you won't be able to compete in the Pro-Am at NDCA comps. And that to me sounds like from their perspective, sounds like a great move, right? You're trying to hurt or prevent, leaking out to USA Dance or to WDO stuff. I think that's really the move there. But there's this claim of like, well, what about it's illegal because of the right to work and all this stuff. And, it's not like these judging jobs pay much. But anyway, I don't know if you guys have an opinion on that and this right to work thing in general.
You go first.
Okay. I'll walk into this bear trap
Who's
of
drunk more?
of a question.
Who's had more whiskey?
I know.
You've had more whiskey.
There's coffee in this glass.
Let's start
Yeah.
with the fact
No,
that it's 1:35.
it's whiskey.
1:30 a.m.?
There you go.
1:30 a.m. New
Okay.
York time.
Before I answer, I need to understand more about it because this is the first I've heard about this.
Yeah.
So please, can you unpack that one more time before I respond? What exactly? I actually am confused on what the premise of the new rule is.
So a number of years ago, there was a rule passed that you can't be an official in both organizations. Or if you're an official in USA Dance, in the NDCA, you can't, let's say if you're a judge, you can't go and judge USA Dance competitions, for instance. They ding you and I think they take your license away or something like that, or they, I don't know, expel you. I think this happened to Glenn Weiss. He judged some comps that weren't, and then they removed him as a judge. He's actually back now. So you couldn't officiate both or any non-NDCA without like written permission. I think I've got that right. And this one, the new rule is that you can't be an official of another organization and dance Pro-Am. Maybe it's dance at all, but I'm pretty sure that what matters is that you can't dance Pro-Am at NDCA comps.
So if I'm a judge,
If you're a judge for USA Dance,
Yep.
you can't dance Pro-Am anymore at NDCA. You can't
is
register.
there
as
a lot of that crossover? I'm just like thinking about how many judges I competed against yesterday, and I don't think there's a lot.
Well, that's why I think it's great, right? Because
Yeah.
you only hurt a very small population, but it's a population that matters. It's the officials.
Yeah, the judges. Right?
Yeah, it's just them, and you can't really run without judges. So you hurt like the smallest number of people that then hurts if they're doing it to hurt another organization or to protect themselves. Let's say it's a defensive move, perhaps. Yeah, so what would you think about that? If they told you, oh, you're judging USA Dance stuff, you can't come anymore to do NDCA comps.
I guess the first thing I would be like, is there like a grace period? Like, did you just pull the rug out from under me, or is it like in the next 6 months?
So let's say there
this
is
going to be the new rule.
Let's say there is. It's a soft rollout.
Yeah. I think I would say those are the rules of the new organization, and if I don't like it, I cannot play.
Yeah.
I like it when rules are made and followed, and I don't like when people try to break the rules. In that sense, I feel like it's really simple. We don't have to play in the NDCA pond if we don't want to. These are their rules.
Yeah.
They make them. If you don't like it, you don't have to play.
Yeah.
That's your vote, right?
Right.
If the rules pass, and I know that there's a huge process to how these rules come up, there's good reasons for them. There's thoughtful people making these decisions. They're voted. And when they're passed, it's just like how it's going to be. And you can opt out and not play in the game.
Yeah, because I guess what they're doing is they're not denying your right to work at other comps or whatever. They're just saying, in order to be a member of this organization and do the competitions that we've built over the whatever years, this is a rule, whatever it is. Yeah. So they're just they have an admissions protocol for membership, basically. And yeah, I don't know. Does it seem? Some people think it's shady. It's like, oh, they're just doing this to hurt the WDO or something.
I'm trying to. I think I'm still doing a bad job responding because I don't fully understand or grasp it, mostly because of my own ignorance that I am not a judge. What's relevant to the officials is less in my purview. But
I've talked to some people at USA Dance that are judges
okay.
that say, if this is the case, I'm out because what I make judging here is nowhere near what I make dancing pro-am. And people don't do... USA Dance hasn't picked up that momentum yet in the pro-am side. So missing out on all the NDCA comps is costly.
Yeah, I guess I would want to understand more what the upside is of judging the USA Dance comps, because it seems like a no-brainer. Okay, you can do Pro-Am or you can judge USA Dance comps. If I was given that choice and it was either or, it's an obvious choice.
I don't know. Prestige, being invited to teach at camps.
Well, this is a very interesting topic, and I've been listening this whole time because my knowledge is certainly limited in that aspect. However, I do have judging credentials with Terpsichore.
Oh.
And when was it? I don't remember. Before COVID, I did judge, help me.
USA Dance.
USA Dance.
Okay.
Exactly. But it was like a, how you call them, collegian.
Collegiate stuff.
Exactly.
I see. That's usually different.
So usually that's different. But in case of, I guess this is one of these things that if you belong with these people, you follow this type of rules.
Yeah.
If you belong with these people, you follow this type of rules. At the end, I would move this whole topic to the idea of, let's talk about all the federations.
Let's do that.
And
of course,
what's the whole sense in this? Because this is at the end not uniting the whole dance industry.
So
it's just dividing.
Let's start with, I mean, you're coming from Poland.
Correct.
And there are multiple federations there.
Correct.
One is the WDSF, which is the world.
Well, in Poland, the first one that we should mention will be the Polish Dance Association. PTT,
which is that?
PTT.
That's under one of the others. So
the Polish Dance Association used to be, and I think still is, with WDSF.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So WDSF is the parent, world parent of USA Dance and this one.
It's like NDCA is collaborating with WDC,
yeah.
Correct? And then we start having this FTS and God knows what else. And I feel like all these champions that, been out there for a number of years, I don't know what it is. It's like, you know what, let me create something of my own. You know?
Why do you think, by the way, I had a great talk with Thomas Milnicki.
Yes.
And the whole thing was him telling about, I grew up in communism in Poland, nothing to do.
Nothing to do. Nothing to do, nothing to eat.
It was so, I was laughing so much. So he was great. But I don't know what the optics are there as far as different federations and the politics.
Correct.
I hear a lot of people in Europe complaining about that.
Well, at the end, I think also in the world perspective, we have so many different dance organizations.
Yeah.
And now even here in US, okay, it's NDCA, which will be the biggest one, I shall say, and USA Dance. And then let's not forget, we have, if I'm not mistaken, we can pin also the Fred Astaire, Artur Murray, and now we have Dance Vision as well.
Right.
That creates its own thing. And
circuit or something, right?
Correct. So for the past 13 years that I've been here in US, when I started, the Dance Vision was already there, but it was smaller. Yeah. And now I can see how it picked up. Now I hear from my colleagues, dancers, that Some of them, they're basically already buying in licenses to run the studio under their shield. And now the question is it good? Is the dancing growing? Well, I think the dancing is growing in the industry. But on the other hand, it's also dividing at the same time.
I mean, is it just cutting up
The
the pie
piece
that's
of a
already
pie.
there, or is it someone baking a bigger pie?
Correct.
What do you think?
It's a good question. What do you think, Mayo?
I think, unfortunately, no one's making the pie bigger in any real way right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is sad and something that I want to try to figure out how to help people do. I don't think I can do it myself. I think that the industry at large needs to really think about that. We talked about it on one of your episodes where the tide, went out and we're slowly getting back on our feet. I feel like things like your podcast, things like your effort creating more opportunities for people to do podcasts is the way to get there. I think we have infighting, which every organization will always have forever, and we have some visionary leaders, and we need more of that visionary leadership, and potentially, I think that looking at our thing that we have, the biggest things we have to reduce is like friction in how difficult it is to access what we have to offer. There's so much friction there. The overall barrier to entry being quite high, just quite expensive to get in the door. I feel like the current shows on television right now actually paint somewhat of a bleak view in terms of participation requiring a certain amount of money.
Like Dancing Queens on Bravo.
Yeah, I think that the premise that you need to spend $100,000 a year to play this game is not true, first of all, and is not
Correct.
a good message because it's super limiting. And I wish that we had more messaging that was inclusive and the opposite of limiting. So that's the questions that we have to figure out is how to actually grow the pie.
What
because
metric
then,
would you use to say we should look at to know? Like I say, we're going to say, here, let's all get together and measure whether the pie is growing.
great. How about, and I'm just brainstorming here, I'm sure you're going to have better scientific ideas than me and you as well. I think that
see.
number one is like, okay, here's how many members are in the NDCA. Here's how many members are in USA Dance. Here's how many people did not renew. Here's how many people did renew. Here's how many new names we got. Here's the geographic
So just membership.
locations. Yeah, membership. Where are people signing up? How fast are they signing up? How can we increase the signups? And maybe also like creating different tiers of membership where it's like fun and social. Like I don't think we do a good job capturing the metrics on the social dance part of our industry. Like there's no numbers for how many people were at the Rogers Social or the whatever you want to call it in the Bay Area. 3 socials happen. Nobody knows how many people were there. And those numbers would be cool to capture and then to measure. And I think it's also...
So not
How
just
else can we measure?
Not just the competitive side. you mean.
The competitive side is easy to measure, right?
Just entries, right?
Entries,
But that's
members, like
that's
how
hard. So
many
there've been
people...
a few comps I've been to this year where entries are up, number of competitors are down.
And this is another example to me of...
Many top teacher competitors with hundreds of entries each, but total people in the ballroom is less.
This is the problem, right? This is touching on a meta.
So
thing.
revenue grows, customer base dwindles.
Yes,
right?
but look at this. If you think about what our industry, by the way, is beautifully built upon, I think that of all the dance activities that we could have fallen into, and fallen in love with tap dance, fallen in love with contemporary jazz, we're so lucky that we fell in love with ballroom just for the dollar signs of it. No bullshit aside. It is
It pays
the
better.
most lucrative dance job, I think, bar none. And that is beautifully built upon the backs of pro-am students that fund this party.
Yeah.
And I feel like we know that. We honor them a little bit, but the vibe is here's X amount of pro-am students that are successful and affluent and we are slowly, without realizing it, taking more and more from less and less of them. And I promise there's a line that we shouldn't cross where they will start to get pissed off to a point that you can't extract more from those few people. And so the pie definitely needs to get more people, not less people with more money extracted from them.
Do you think it's because it is cost prohibitive?
I think it's a combination of things. This is going to be an oversimplification of the problem, but I feel like an example is, here's my student. I'm a competition organizer. I know Mayo is going to bring 5 students to this dance competition. I'm going to charge that student this much money for her entry fees, this much money for her ticket into the ballroom, and this much money for the package, this much upcharge on the hotel room, whatever, all those metrics. And over time, when we don't have a visionary outlook on getting more people or finding more streams of revenue, you can only milk that cow so much, right? And you just charge more, you give less dance time on the actual dance floor, you charge even more. There's a line here that becomes treacherous that we have to be very careful with, because if we break this thing, it's a huge mistake. And I just wish that my current customers could actually spend less and there would be more of them. Like if you think about the amount of
that's better for everyone.
suffering dance instructors in studios all over the nation will, like in any given studio, you have only so many lessons to go around, and there's less and less of that, I think. And I'm a little bit speculative here, but I think we should all think about ways to generate like bigger audience, some type of larger participation, capitalizing on the social dance aspect at the competition. I mean, I'm kind of now getting pie in the sky. You know more about the actual logistics of running a comp and how probably optimistically naive I am saying that. But there has to be some thought in the very real possibility that we could take this too far and break it. I'd love to carry that thought a little further. So I do think it's easy for us to sit here and sort of say, yes, someone do something about this problem, and why isn't the entity growing faster? But I love that question for yourself, for us as teachers, independent or not. How can we actually, like myself, make the pie bigger? Let's brainstorm there for a little bit. I'll go first. I feel like one thing I could do as an example is when I'm done with work on a given Thursday, go to a social dance spot that has live music, try to bring random humans onto that dance floor, dance with them, show them how fun it is, and give them a business card.
Yeah.
That would grow the pie. What else could I do?
What I try and do
Yeah.
is I try to, so for instance, at Santa Clara University, which is close to where I live, they have a decent sized student base. I think 12 to 1,500 entering class. That's not nothing. So maybe 6,000 students in their undergrad. They don't have a team. And so that's sort of like a starting, like, it's pretty fertile. You have kind of a captive audience depending, and so I like helping start college teams, right? I've done that for a long time now. And that's not the pro-am. They don't usually do NDCA comps, but I like to think that in 20 years, after they raise their kids or get their jobs that, settle them and they can, afford it. It's not super cheap. That they'll be, the like you said, the people that hold up the industry later on.
This can't be overstated what you've done, and I think that you're a great example of, like, I think it's also from a position of privilege that you are so successful in your own regard that you are not hustling for money the way some professionals need to. So I don't want to call it philanthropic, but it is very generous what you do for those kids. And I've seen you do above and beyond. I've seen you give free lessons. And I think that your input into that immeasurable first chapter of an otherwise, like, you're looking 15 years later, potentially.
Oh yeah.
could be drops in a very important bucket that makes our industry sustain itself. And I love that as an example of an individual taking a longer view and growing the pie. That's a really important example of it.
We like to think of it, well, not we, but when we're talking about who's growing the pie and who's not. So, okay, we have this guy in our area that many people hate. And if you're from our area, my area, you probably know who this is. Just think of how many people you see talking a lot on social media that you dislike. You probably know who I'm talking about. But anyway, maybe not. So I won't mention names. But
Okay.
there's someone who many people...
We're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And we don't know these
Many
local
people
politics.
in
of California.
not even it's not even California as a whole. It's just my area. People got a problem with this guy.
Okay.
He talks a lot. But what he does that other people won't do is he does things like you're talking about. He'll show up to, I don't know, the mall and do like a little salsa performance with one of his students. He talks them into doing it. Like he's out. He goes to, he runs these cosplay ballroom events to try and, well, I guess that outs him, I guess. Well, anyway. Many people find this guy hard to deal with, but he's doing that low-level grassroots sort of stuff, trying to get people in. That a lot of people, and I used to be sort of one of these people, you know, like when I first turned pro, you kind of get a little fancy. You know, it's like, well, I'm not sure if you know, but I'm a finalist, professional, rising star, San Francisco Open. You know, like fucking, like, and this is not shitting.
1998.
This is not shitting on the San Francisco Open, right? It's just like people make a little bit bigger deal of themselves than they are, and I can't be down there with you.
It's
You know,
really funny.
it's like
and
I haven't
true.
worked my whole career to roll around in the mud with the great unwashed masses of people
funny.
at these social dances, and I find it a little off-putting. So I mean, you have people that do that sort of work. And we all just, I think we need to be a little more fucking grateful, excuse my language, for that stuff that we don't want to do. Like someone's doing that work, and we all benefit because
Tremendously
he doesn't
true.
keep them forever. They
Yep.
need to move on,
Yep.
and they move up to guys like us.
Yeah.
And I don't think we give them enough credit because they have handpicked, like grown the student from nothing, pulled them out, grown them to the size they are, and they just go to you for free. Basically, you don't have to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Already trained, already understand the business, all that stuff, and you just take a student. So we need more of that, whether it's going to social dances, whether it's doing performances for, I don't know, whatever you can do. But like, go dance with people who don't know how to dance. Don't get too fancy. What's good for everyone is you taking someone who knows nothing, not switching teachers.
Yes.
And there's a lot of that, and I understand that's unavoidable. Like, and I have respect for, you know, it's often the students, they want to switch, right? And I'm not shitting on that. I'm just saying that, like, if we want more, if each of us made at the end of the year, I want 2 students that I started from scratch. I'm their first teacher. I think that would just be like boom, 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 boom. Like it would go on. If we all had quotas, like you've got to bring 2 people that weren't dancing by the end of the year, should be dancing and ready to do a comp. If every single pro in the registry did that, we're good.
This sounds funny, but it's actually a wonderful idea. And
Yeah.
I will tell you that, like, pro bono work, right? Like, law firms do that.
Yeah.
I have given free lessons. You have given free lessons. You have given free lessons.
I give at least 100 free lessons a year.
That's incredibly generous.
Wow.
Yeah. At least
That's
100.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's I don't have a target. I just,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, I'm like doing taxes
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, this should be higher.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
zero
in that
to
case,
that.
and I just
Yeah.
go through and I look at my schedule. I'm like, oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I didn't charge for that. I didn't charge for that.
Yeah. I've never measured how many free lessons I've given.
And that's the
but
nice
it's
thing. I can do
yeah,
that, right? Like
yeah.
it's largely because I don't have a family, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I decide to stay at work an extra hour or 2 or whatever I want to donate, no problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anyone anything but me, but you know, so it's privileged in that way.
Yeah. But there's a I would say uniqueness in that. I feel like if you, and maybe I have this wrong, but if you plucked out 10 professionals out of any given ballroom, I actually feel like the majority of them would have less philanthropic motives. I don't know that I'm right about that. I do think that there's just sort of a cutthroatness to our game that is very competitive. And
what I wonder is if everyone was good financially, you know, like you're paying all your stuff. Your kids go to school where you want. You're in the house nice enough. Like stuff's good. You're going on vacation once a year, twice a year. You're not stressed about money. What do you do then? Maybe we would see different, right? Like I'm totally willing to accept that this cutthroatness is because shit's expensive.
Sure.
You know? And not just shit's expensive. It's like expensive if you're a competing pro. Like your wife's competing, right?
Correct.
So you go take lessons. You get to travel, like
all
the stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think people don't know. Pros spend more money than amateurs do.
a lot more.
On the lessons, on everything.
Yeah. And so, that's not free.
Yeah,
and it's hard to then go teach free lessons.
Yeah, but I love the sentiment, and I think your wife possesses this quality that she's not getting too fancy.
Let's talk about your wife.
Yeah, Denise. Okay.
Well, hello, darling.
And we tried to FaceTime her 5 minutes ago to find out the results of the competition that we're missing.
Shout out to Denise.
She's a very busy woman.
We are missing.
Well, actually, what is she doing right now? She's probably
She's probably at the bar.
At the bar.
Let's be honest.
At the competition. We're on
go.
July 4th weekend with at the Manhattan Dance Sport Championships. Yeah, although we're in New Jersey.
Bar it is.
Yeah.
No, but Denise is an example of a generous professional that is not full of herself.
Correct.
She's very humble and she works hard and she's giving free lessons to people. And I would say that if she was imagine like a face, like some propaganda or like a good ad for our industry, she's got a great one. She has a beautiful story, a beautiful message, and she shares it well. And I feel like she is like a little bright spot in the dance world. And I feel like that's cool about her. What I'm trying to share about Denise is that her students love her. She retains the students. She creates new students. People want to dance because of her energy. And we need to try to think about creating more of those moments.
Honestly, I have to add something to this because, yes, you're 100% right. And I have to say that my wife is very unique with that ability. First of all, she can feel another person. She can understand how another person can feel and what that person is going through. And I think not many of us really getting into that aspect.
She's empathetic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of, I don't want to say us, but a lot of teachers is looking basically at the student like a dollar sign, and there's like, come, do whatever you need to do and go. That's it.
I mean, I'm not even against that. That's sort of just mercenary sort of. I mean, they're looking at you as something to carry them around the dance floor. It's in some sense, right?
Well, correct.
There's an exchange. Let's not say there's not an exchange going on.
Well, there is,
but it could be more.
Well, it could be more, and I'm talking about the extreme cases, right?
Sure.
Because of course it's like, and I've seen people that literally go to the competition, dance with their students, and they're like literally walk off the floor. Thank you, bye, I'm gone.
Yeah.
There's no like, let's talk about it, let's hang out, let's.
What would you call this? Customer service.
Customer service,
yeah.
Which is quite important, especially in this country. I think customer service is extremely important, and how we make feel other people when we provide that service. Because at the end, what do we really sell? I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What do we really sell? Because this is nothing that the client can go to the store, grab from the shelf, and it's like, okay, I purchased this. This is mine, and I can carry this in my purse. I can go showcase it to other people. Or if I don't like, I can exchange it. There's no exchange policy here.
I think we're supposed to sell progress. I feel like we sell progress and we sell skill building.
Us, the teachers.
Yeah, the teachers.
Correct.
We're supposed to deliver
the
progress.
comp sell something different. Like there's like different things on the menu here.
And do you know what I've heard one time? Somebody said, we're selling dreams.
Dreams.
Dreams of becoming something. Dreams of feeling like a princess or prince on the dance floor.
We're removing regret.
Or like that.
People are like, I always wanted to do this. I didn't do this when I was younger.
But at the end, I think what we provide, and everybody knows it. A lot of people say, it's cheaper than therapy, right? And
I'm not sure that's.
I don't know
cheaper
what
than
they
therapy.
exactly mean by cheaper, but definitely costly. But I think we do provide to people something more than just the movement, than just the technical aspect of it. And I think this is what most of the people are drawn into. So I think if we would put more attention to that aspect in our industry, maybe it will grow, because at the end, and let's put it this way, I'm from Europe and I came here and my first lesson, okay, teach group class, cha-cha-cha. I had 20 people in a class. By the end of the class, I had 3 people. Oh, I have to pick up my daughter. Oh, I forgot the keys. Do you know why? Because I was doing site together with like the inside edge of your toe and this,
too
all the
technical.
details to technical. And that was a social class.
Yeah, so
I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand this aspect of social. And then it took me years to finally, so I'm here just to have fun with them,
Entertain.
entertain, and eventually teach something. Oh, that is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Kind of, right? So then you have this influx of all these people from Europe, and I can say because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
And what do? Oh, 1, 2, 3, ra-cha-cha, 2, 3, go, go, go. What is this? What is this? No, go. I don't know, which is great because it teaches discipline. But again, it's like some people like it, right?
You're selling stuff that not everyone's buying here, right?
Correct. So at the end, I think, again, the balance.
Well, let's talk about our own struggles as dancers. We'll talk about as in the well, let's start in the entirety of your career. How many different partners have you had?
Around 10, yeah.
I mean, from the very beginning, huge amount of people, but I think like serious, real dance
Like partners that
I
you've
had
done
3.
competitions
No.
with.
I had 3.
3 that you've been on the floor with.
Yep.
That's
Kona
pretty- I-
Jacobson, Lisa Vogel, Michelle
I feel
Officer.
like that's pretty low, actually. Yeah, I think I've had like 6 or 7. Something
Okay.
like that. Yeah. So my studio, it's we're dance lab, and so I'm interested in like a lot of weird questions no one asks. Like right now, we're doing a population study on laterality, which is like why people favor one side of the body over others. Like why do most people prefer to turn left?
Line of dance.
No. Just people, like
Oh.
non-dancers. Like they've done studies where they have people walk in a line and they say, okay, when the light blinks, just turn around.
Mm-hmm.
And most people turn left.
Well, think of how
Really?
many sports go left, like race cars, horses, ice skating. A lot of things go left, right?
Yeah. But these are non-sports people. Like these are just average people.
What
Yeah.
goes right? What sports go right? Can't think of one.
I don't know. Ballet. I don't know.
Toilet flushes to the left, right?
Not in Australia.
A lot of things go left.
Anyway, so just people prefer to turn left for whatever reason,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's not like it's a handed thing because only 10% of people are left-handed. So we're interested in that sort of question. I'm interested in other things that have to do with partnering dynamics. Who do you think is more responsible for splits in partnerships? Leaders or followers?
You want me to go first?
And I asked that because
Sure.
like we have data for that in personal lives for people. Like we know that women initiate something between 70 to 80% of divorces, and it's like 90% if they have a college degree.
I mean,
But dance partnership splits may be different. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's mostly the followers or the. So I'm interested in what your experience has been like.
here's my guess.
And cut.
oh,
Okay.
I'm going to excuse you guys
okay.
because he's whining.
Yeah.
But this is a good moment for cut.
Okay.
Keep your thought.
I'll wait.
The scene.
Okay, and we're back with Nugget, which is Slawek's
Slawek.
dog.
You're gonna win.
We had him
all
locked
the
in the back
hearts
room,
of all the
and
ladies.
Nugget was whining a little bit, so we thought
Can
if we're
you
gonna
say something to our audience?
Nuggy, no.
He's just very, very.
Anyway, well, we're keeping him on the lap because Nugget is a
It's a lap dog.
He's a passionate boy and he likes to hump our legs. So we're keeping him.
Gotta keep him contained.
keep him contained to protect our legs. I'm interested in. I feel like if we can start with who splits up more often, then maybe what are the most common reasons for whoever does it more often, that we can prevent some catastrophic failures that maybe would otherwise not be avoided. So anyway, what was your?
Love this line of thought. I think my gut response on that is, guys, are going to terminate the partnership more frequently.
Wow.
My logic there, and I don't know if this is flawed or not, but my logic is that there's simply less of us playing this game. So while I was the only kid in my ballroom dance class in high school to like 25 women, I had my pick of who I could dance with, and that sort of permeates the entire journey, I would say. And I think that for every good male ballroom dancer, the girls are 2 times as good, 3 times as good, sometimes 4 times as good. And this myself as an example, who was 4 times worse than all of my partners, still had the power because there were so few of me around.
Because you could afford to replace them.
Yeah, I
In a
could.
sense.
I could. And knowing that, and just that fundamental truth that there's more of them, I think makes them have to swallow more pride, put up with more SHIT from guys.
Because they think I'm not going to find someone
Yeah, because they know that there's another one around the corner and there's less boys. So my guess would be that the boys terminate more frequently. And what I would say on that is that it's to the guy's loss. I feel like the secret to good dancing is time together.
Yeah.
And I feel like so many people lose sight of that concept, not just in the pro ranks, but the amateur ranks, even the pro-am ranks. And it's like time together is the only way to really improve your dancing. And to reach the highest levels of dance, you just need a lot of time together. And that means you're going to have to put up with some SHIT a lot of times. You're going to have to put up with some shit from your partner.
Yeah.
And the people that have a high threshold for that, because it's very difficult to match perfectly, you've got to be able to be adaptable and not get a new girl tomorrow because your bachakara is so perfect and, well, she didn't make my coffee the right way. I'll get a different one. And that's a mindset that I think leads to not the highest ranks. And you look at all the most successful dancers. One of my favorite examples is Trolls and Ina. They've been together forever.
Yeah.
They, I'm sure, have had fights and bumps along the way, and they're still together. And he could have changed partners a lot of times. And he could have picked any girl multiple times over and over and over because there's just less boys.
That partnership, I find
they start at the beginning.
She gets a lot. I mean, he's great, right? But I look, I don't know. I don't dance Latin. But I do, personally, I feel like I hear more often that he's a great partner for her, but she's something special.
This is my whole point, is that girl is a remarkable talent. He is a remarkable talent. I'm not going to throw Trolls under the bus here, and I wonder if he would agree the same thing. I would say Trolls might view it this way as well, that he is 25% as good as Ina. I think he might say that. I'd actually love to ask him that question. I'll ask him tomorrow when I see him in the studio.
Yeah.
She is divine. He appreciates her. That entire time, he appreciated that. And when she was like this, or they were both like this, they became this together because of all that time.
Yeah.
And they're a great example of staying together. And I'd love to encourage more people to not break up. But that's a long answer. I think it's the boys.
What do you think about it?
It's a hard one.
Well, so how about your own experience? You've got 10. So we could get a personal story, anecdotal data here.
Probably.
Did you break up with more of your partners, or did they break up with you?
Based on that data, I have to say that I think I break up more than the girl. I have to say. Well, even though I had probably one situation actually throughout this whole time, 1.5 situation
that broke up with you,
that the girl broke up with me.
Huh. And so he thinks it's because the leaders often have more options. Do you think that's were you thinking that?
Not really. I don't think they have more or less options.
Is there a common theme in your breakups?
Yes, there is. And I have to really come clean with this one.
Let's go.
And it comes down to your personality.
Huh.
It comes down to how you communicate with the other person and how much the other person can stand your dealings and problems and issues. You know? And let's be honest, we all have a lot of them. So it is true. Some people are looking for the easy route, which is dump, find another one. Another one would be better. But is it always that case? Not really. Because you always go back to the same issues.
You're the same.
If you don't fix your own issues, you're still going to be the same. So they will be keep dumping you constantly.
Yeah.
Or you cannot deal with yourself. And you will be constantly searching for something that it's unreachable. Because you have this imagination that, if I only had this girl that looks like this and dance like that, then I will get to the top.
I see.
But what
I
about?
think that's very common.
I think so.
This upgrade, they're holding me back sort of mentality.
But let's be honest right now. So usually when these guys find these new girls with this image that they're looking for, they actually do get better. I actually did see a lot of them that basically just, okay, you're not good enough, next one. And I'm like, what a douche. And then I'm looking at the results. Damn, he really have better results now. So now, are we going to be better human beings and respect each other, our commitments towards each other? Or we'll be looking just at our ultimate goal, which is get higher?
Mayo pointed out
Yeah.
a very clear example of
Yeah.
long, slow loyalty, grind, work it out, stay together, Trolls and Nina. Long career, now they stand at the top. But we can find many where they changed partners and immediately went from 0 to hero.
I would definitely not make a rule out of it if it was up to me.
Like, let's say the opposite
Yeah.
would be maybe what we see in the ballroom right now, right? Like, I've heard many people, like, I'm not really of this opinion myself, but I've heard many people say, hey, the follower in the world champion couple right now just changed to dance with this guy and moved up, 50 places? I don't know how
Correct.
many it was, a lot.
Correct.
To where people are questioning the validity of this. And that's the opposite, right? That's not sticking it out, dumping your old partner and upgrading. Or I don't know if she had a partner. But like you see both ways work. And so people will say like, well, actually the quickest way to the top is to.
Well, I mean, I'd like to unpack that just for a little bit because
And again, like just in case Anna hears this, like
Anna.
This is not my opinion. I think you're great.
No, I feel like Anna is a dear friend of mine. I'll tell a couple Anna stories before I give you my take on that. I do think that Anna Demidova, of all of the humans that I've ever known in this dance industry, I'll tell you a funny story that will give you insight into her character. We were acquaintances. She has been busting her ass just as hard as me for just as long as me, if not longer, running parallel, working diligently on Latin and standard and then standard, rising through the ranks. Her partner is also a friend of mine, Andrei Beganov, and she goes on this television show, Dancing with the Stars, with me simultaneously. We were not close friends, but acquaintances, mutual friends. The show, there's 20 million people watching the show. There is tremendous money at stake here for who's going to win this pro dancer competition, right? And I think there was 8 of us, and Anya and I were in it, and we were battling. There was all these weeks of footage captured and interviews filmed, and a plot line that was trying to be forced upon us from producers to create animosity on some level between us as we both rose to the top 2 spots of the show. And it was going to be either her or me that becomes the pro next season on Dancing with the Stars, which is a tremendous chunk of change to make that flip. And to be on that show is a life-changing moment, right? And the stakes were extremely high. And the pressure was extremely high. And we barely knew each other. And they fed us so many times not nice things to say about the other person. And never once did she grab a morsel of it. And never, ever said anything remotely bad about me. I'll never forget how much class I saw in that human with how she handled that moment in time. And I love her for that. And to this day, I've watched her career absolutely continue to develop, continue to push herself, continue to dance her ass off day after day after day after day after day with, again, the horrible side of the coin, which is you're a female in the ballroom dance industry. It just flat out sucks a lot compared to being a man in the ballroom dance industry for a whole bunch of reasons that I don't want to get into. There she is, a successful female in the industry. All the time, partnerships develop over the course of time. If there was ever an example of someone that stuck by her partner for a long time, it's Anya Demidova with Andre. She put up with so much, good and bad, and such a long timeline, such a real partnership there. That partnership dissolves organically, a pandemic happens, and these quick partnerships that you're alluding to, which do happen, are very often tactically matched, right? I would say you look at a lot of top couples, Joanna Lunis, Michael Molotowski, like these are all badass dancers that are all working their asses off all over the globe, rising to the tops of the ranks. Coaches guiding them. Yo, this person's available. These two make a better match. There's strategic chess moves on the board, and they need to be well timed. This was just an example, in my view, of two very hardworking dancers that had a perfect, lucky opportunity and made a chess move, took a chance, and after the pandemic, rose to the occasion. And it isn't, you can't take anything away from her for that opportunity. You have to admire all of the hard work that got her to that position. And to me, that guy is incredible also. Like, I've talked to him. I love him. He's like so passionate about his craft, and she is too. And together, they're admirable and worthy world champions. So I don't know the people that are talking shit sometimes. They don't see her every day in and day out that I have seen her. She definitely put the work in more than everyone. And yes, she leapt 50 spots, but shit, that was just good timing and good luck and earned leap. And it's because she got a better partner. And I don't want to say anything bad about Andre. He's amazing, but that was
but you're
alignment of stars.
Sometimes you
right
can
place, right time.
You can have two phenomenal people, and it's the match.
Let's go there for a second too. This is really another cool moment in history, right? And it's also international standard universe. I think you probably know more about this than I do, but was there not a moment where there was no champion? Arunas and Katusha are a brand new partnership. Everyone wanted to grab that title that year. Who else was it? It was
Victor and Anastasia.
Someone else.
Giampiero and Anna.
Bingo. There's like this moment in time where there's no champion.
Yeah, 2000.
Everyone couples up.
And Mirko split internationally.
Mirko, exactly. So these motherfuckers are battling it out for this one ripe moment in
Mirko
time
and Adita,
where there's no partnership. There's no champion.
Yeah.
And Katusha and Arunas did it.
Yeah.
Against a fair battle.
Yeah.
Same with Anna.
They lost once to, I think, Mirko and Alessia because they were still together.
Yes.
But I think after a year, they split too. And then it was Katusha the whole time after that. And in a relatively new partnership.
And that's a new partnership.
Yeah.
And it's two hardworking dancers that click together. And that's what Anna did too. It's really remarkable to me is that it's two humans in the same family. But if you've met those two humans and if you've spoken to them, it's obvious. There's something in the water over there. There's something in their household. Those girls are straight fucking Terminators. I will not say anything except that about them. If you speak to them as I have over the years,
I've heard
they are
people
no
say that
bullshit. They're
that exact word.
Fucking Terminators. And I respect their,
like in the
their
best way.
grit. I respect their work ethic. I respect how they are like the opposite of like foo hee hee ha ha. They're absolutely Terminators, and they both deserve to be champions. And it's so cool that they're in the same family.
Yeah.
And I can't say enough good things about Anna and her partner. But yeah, this is an example of a quick success. Yes.
It wouldn't be so hard to believe
deserved.
that there's a genetic component here, right? So that's not so crazy.
Well, there's definitely a genetic component, but I would like to just add one thing that I've been carrying in my mind as I was listening to you. And knowing Anna the way I know, I remember my very last dance competition as a professional.
What year are we?
2018.
Okay.
She was still dancing with Andrei Begunov. And the results were not always the best. But I remember back then, she said to me, I know sometimes the results are not the best, but I love dancing and I'm passionate about it. And it didn't discourage her from continuing and pursuing. And so today I think you have progress. And today you have the fruit of the commitment, I would say, not even the hard work, which was obviously done over the years, but also the commitment. right? Because it's easy to get discouraged.
Let's make a commitment between the three of us that we're going to each have one or two new first-time students on our personal rosters by the end of the year.
Hold on. I love this challenge.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I love this challenge. Okay.
The pie growth challenge.
Okay. The Ikaika inspired pie growth challenge. Seriously, let's do it. It's Manhattan Dance Sport yesterday. And it's still going, I guess. But Manhattan Dance Sport Championship. We have 1 year, each of us.
It's 2 what time is it?
It's 2 a.m.
2 a.m, Friday night, I guess Saturday morning.
Excuse me, it's 2:40.
2:40.
Okay, it's 3 a.m.
We've had some whiskey.
Yes, and we're making a challenge inspired by Ikaika called the Ikaika Pie
Challenge.
Growth Challenge.
No.
There
And
you go.
Here's,
I like
here's what
it.
I propose.
Just
You
the
guys
pie
don't.
growth challenge.
You don't have to opt into the Ikaika Pie Growth.
People are gonna say like
challenge.
Mayo's always riding your dick. Like why?
No.
All right. Anyway.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to definitely scrub that audio clip. We're gonna go. Let me try to articulate the Ikaika.
Oh gosh.
Okay, fine.
You're practice saying my name. That's what it
The
is.
Pie Growth
Pie Growth
Challenge,
Challenge.
Manhattan Dance Sport 2024.
Yeah.
I hereby pledge, inspired by Ikaika Dowsett, that I will bring one student to the competition. She can dance bronze. Okay, newcomer bronze waltz with me. I will literally do it for free. You can have one set of single dances and one multi-dance, A, B, C, or Senior 1 or Senior 2 division. I will do it free of charge. The way you can enter this competition with me is you have to send Ikaika a message on why you think you would be a good member of the ballroom community. And I, because of him, will gift you a dance competition experience with me. You come here, even if you come here the night before the competition, or if you're local, I will teach you enough lessons that you can handle yourself and do remarkably well at the competition. I promise I'll do it for free. You guys should match
All the
my
lessons
challenge.
for free too. Okay.
Lessons for free, one competition, a reasonable amount of lessons, and the people that submit to this, let's say that they have to Facebook you or email you. I want
Let's at least say that you can do the comp for free.
comp for free
If people
and
want to
lessons.
teach, if people
No,
want to
I'm
teach
going to
lessons,
do the lessons.
Oh, you're going to do it all. Okay.
Wait, that's a little extreme, right?
I mean, maybe not everyone can afford to do
I've
that.
had
right?
a lot of whiskey.
Yeah.
We'll start just with the competition, and I'll
It doesn't have
probably
to be
also
for-
do the
What
free
about
lessons.
just getting a
Yeah.
student,
Hey,
new
how about this?
student?
Let's
to the
reframe the
pie?
challenge. You can get paid, not paid, whatever you want. We're just going to have a fresh
Exactly.
meet,
Okay.
There you
right?
go.
So they're going to be someone not from another teacher, not from like they're don't know anything about dancing,
Never
And-
danced before.
and you started them and bring them to a comp.
Should we pluck them out of the wild and film it? Like this is a random stranger in the mall.
We could document too. Yeah, just
or
walk
should
up
we let people submit and then we like they ask to be part of this
like
and
those
then we pick
YouTubers who
one?
go up and ask girls out, but it's different.
It would be like, hi, random
Spin the
human.
wheel.
Hi, do you want to
and
do
see
a
if you can win
dance
the
competition
lesson.
with me?
I actually think we should do that.
Okay,
I love
Maybe
this
we'll do
idea.
that. But like, if everyone does that, first of all, Gary's gonna love it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not that this is about Gary, but I mean, like, you know, if we all take one, like, it's they've never danced, and they're doing a competition in a year. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's frame this. This is an important moment in time. Gary McDonald, the McDonald family, which is the, I would say, current custodians of the NDCA. Is that accurate? His father is the president.
His brother, the president. Yeah.
He
yeah.
is very
Not
involved.
that this is about that, but
It's
yeah.
not, but the NDCA, we are sitting here saying, please grow our pie for us.
Yeah.
We three are going to do our own individual best effort to grow the pie. And as an example, we will bring one brand new student to Manhattan Dance Sport
So this
Championship
student,
2024.
The qualification is you must be this student's first teacher and only teacher. Well, not only,
Yes.
maybe they do other styles, but like you didn't inherit them. They didn't move to you.
Yes.
You pulled them from being a muggle and you're training them in your personal Hogwarts to be a wizard and dancer.
I love it.
And
I love it.
and you will have grown the pie by one. And if we all grow the pie by one,
It's already 3.
let's say we all have maybe 10 to 20 students. So that, if everyone does it, is a 5 to 10% growth rate.
It's a lot.
If we
more.
all do that
Yeah.
once a year.
I love this idea. And I'm down. I'm going to start at the Willowbrook Mall. I will record my rejections because I'm sure there's going to be
that's
so
my territory.
many. Okay, wait, I'll go to a
It's
different
okay.
mall. But I'm sure we're going to get rejected
My
repeatedly.
territory.
100 times.
And then we'll get one student and we'll do it. Maybe we should all agree to do the same level. You want us to do standard day?
No, we have to do style
With it?
or
yeah. Like,
no,
should we all do standard and we're all in the
Doesn't
same
matter.
event?
Doesn't
Like,
matter.
but should we agree now as the three of us that
Oh.
we're going to have an A girl, a B girl in the bronze
Well,
standard?
you guys can actually
Well, it's
do
getting
stand-
harder and harder right now.
Let's match.
What if I have this lady that's
Let's
like,
do it
I want to
together.
know how to salsa, you know?
Let's see.
Let's do it together.
Let's see how it develops. I think if we put too many factors,
Yeah.
someone might fail. And we just care about new people.
So many rules.
Okay,
Just
well,
new
let
person.
me throw this out there. It
Period.
would be fun if we could all get the same style, same age category, and have a competition amongst the three of us.
I think.
And I'll do any
that's great.
style.
In that case, it should be ballroom because you guys are more flexible.
Okay,
than me.
we'll give him the advantage. We'll do international standard.
Why don't we do first year, just bring us new person, second year, the same style, and let's keep growing this over the years.
He's trying to make it a
Easy,
little extra
easy.
challenging for us.
Easy.
Yeah.
Let's start with one.
Sure.
International standard
This
bronze.
is like bonus.
Yeah.
Extra credit.
Okay,
Yeah. Just getting someone is good.
and it's called the Ikaika
No,
Pie
fuck.
Growth.
Ikaika Pie Growth.
The pie growth challenge.
Pie Growth Challenge.
The fresh meat challenge.
Fresh Meat Pie Growth Challenge. And may all the other dance instructors, whether you do this challenge with us or not, in your own way, in your own small gestures, try to grow the pie. We can all do a better job and not just bitch about the powers that be needing to do a better job.
I think everyone
can do a better job.
because there's a lot of competitors that are uncontested.
Yeah.
And they're like, I would love to have more competitors.
I will consciously make an effort inspired by you and inspired by you to grow the pie this year before we sit and talk again.
We have to solemnly swear.
And now we go back to what I said earlier, that it's up to us at the end if it really grows or if it's going to be stagnant. Because I think the organization role is to support, create guidelines, make sure that certain standards are met. Of course, it will be nice to throw some marketing and letting our industry be known to other people. I remember when I was younger, what do you do? I do ballroom dance. What is ballroom dance? Dave didn't know what that is, but it sounded cool.
Is that like a real career?
Yeah, is that like a little real thing? But yeah, so yeah, let's do it.
And when they ask you that question, when you answer, do it thoughtfully with the primary objective, grow the pie. We
Grow
can
the
all do a
pie.
better job marketing this game that we're playing.
We need a hashtag.
Hashtag pie grow. Hashtag Ikaika pie.
Stop. Wait,
It's
remember
becoming
that
complicated.
video? Did you see that video a couple of years ago where it was like black and white, and they're just like, why? I think. It
Oh
was,
yeah, face to face for
was-
like hours.
Yeah, it was because like I think
Interesting.
it was because like Marcus Hilton didn't get invited back to be the chairman of Blackpool, and everyone's like, why? Why? We
Oh my
want to know
gosh.
why.
This is
But
one
what
of-
if we just do black and white, maybe a parody? No offense, maybe it's a little bit of offense, and we just go pie,
Pie.
pie, like all sad, black and white, like we need more pie. Just pie. Hashtag pie growth challenge.
Oh man, that's
I don't
funny.
think set sells. It has to be positive.
What do you see upset? about?
Pie. Pie? For you, pie? Pie?
We
What
need
kind
to
of
be-
pie you
We need
like?
to be upset about it.
Maybe.
We need to,
tearjerker.
what is it? We're trying to include more people.
When we get that person that represents our little pie growth, we got to text each other
Yes.
with an image and proof.
Okay. Well, the proof is in the entries.
Okay.
Makes
Okay.
sense, yeah.
Paid entries,
Paid entries.
not paid by us.
Nope.
Okay, they have.
But
to
how
pay.
do we validate
It's
if we
not
didn't
free.
inherit that student from somebody
Just
else?
Word of honor.
Well,
Okay.
no.
Or word.
Well, I'll take a
Handshake.
video. I'll take a video of them dancing.
The first lesson, right?
You'll be able to tell if they're faking it. Like if they're like looking a little broken
And
on purpose.
ask a few questions, like, what do you know about ballroom dancing?
Yeah. Don't prime them. We're not gonna try and cheat, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's really funny. I was teaching a really true beginner couple the other day. I'm no longer good at that.
Oh yeah.
I have lost the art of that. And I've spent so much time doing another thing that I need to rekindle that
It's
flame.
a different thing.
It's totally different.
Yeah. I love beginners. They're like, you forget sometimes.
Yeah.
Again, like you don't, it's not like you're trying to become fancy, but you think, I've become fancy. I forgot where I came from.
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with the normal person, the non-dancer. Yeah. And if you were moved to a new city with no competitors, you would have to fucking learn fast.
Yeah, true. That's funny and true.
So I just want to say thank you to Sky Llama Productions. This is Slawek's really killer studio that we're in. We're in New Jersey, in Totowa,
Pretty good.
something like that. And it's a really beautiful space. I kind of ended up here randomly because Mayo invited me to check it out, and it's really great. So thanks for having me. I think I've got some inspiration for upgrades we can make at home. Yeah, and thanks for the random, unplanned, off the cuff 2:30 a.m. podcast to talk about some questions I've been interested in running by some thoughtful people.
Thank you for being so generous with your time and so open. It's pretty cool to say yes to that request. I kind of thought you would though, because you're cool like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to show up for friends, man.
I'll say yes to you if we're in Cali at 2 a.m. as well.
Yeah, get in a cab, sit in
But it'll be
traffic.
hard to beat this space. This is,
Huh?
I mean, this is a hard space to beat.
I think we should give it its due. I mean, it's like this is like, if you're looking, I mean, this is professional, right? Like this is not. I mean, this is a set, but it's beautiful. Would be good for any podcast, and I think that's sort of the point. So, this is your man in the area, as far as I know. And like I said on the other recording we did, maybe there's something like this in my area. I never really looked into it actually, but if I had known that something like this was available at the rates this is available, given the time and cost and setting everything up, I would be in here in a second. I would have saved myself a lot of trouble. And they have a great team. It's editing, it's sound, it's music, it's art, right? Digital logos and branding and stuff too. Like a pretty much turnkey solution.
Pretty much.
Right? Yeah, it's amazing. And you don't have to box up a bunch of equipment and carry it with you everywhere like I've been doing for a long time. So yeah, props for creating a beautiful space.
Just come with your ideas. And if you don't have them, we'll help you with that as well.
Yes. Yeah, just come with your ideas. I love that. Because that's definitely not what I did. All I had was ideas, and I had to go get everything else. So fantastic.
Sorry, ideas and credit card.
But it's yeah, or cash.
Two
cash.
items or cash. Yeah,
10% cash discount. We'll see.
Sky Llamas,
Yeah,
where llamas fly.
and thanks to Nugget for making too much noise in the background.
He's in the isolated room right now for the naughty doggies.
All right, well, thanks, guys. Let's wrap it up.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For having us.